Hi, everybody. Happy Friday once again, and welcome to Fridays with Fidelman. I'm Cheryl Fidelman, life coach, trauma healer, and writer. And today's topic on Fridays with Fidelman is codependence, food, and tradition. So I think that the way this is going to go today is that I'm going to pose more questions than I am going to have answers or just talk and pontificate on this topic. Um, so the first question is, what are you eating every day? What do you look forward to eating every day? What do you start your day with? Do you start your day with the same kind of food? Do you end your day with the same kind of food? Is there a comfort in certain foods that you eat? And I bring the idea of tradition into this because a lot of what we eat comes from our childhood. It comes from what we were trained to eat from our culture, maybe from our mother, from our father, from a mixture of both. Um, what were the things in your household growing up that actually may still be in your kitchen that are just like a staple? Whether it's like a certain kind of can of beans or a certain kind of bread or a certain kind of sandwich that you like to make, or that like late night snack, a particular kind of ice cream that may remind you of your childhood. Because, we talk about comfort foods, or people talk about comfort foods. Oftentimes that comfort is like the process of eating the food as a regression. Like, I'm eating this food and it brings me to the comfort of my childhood. And for me, it's French fries and soda. I love French fries and I love soda. And we did a lot of McDonald's when I was a kid, and I just always used to love the French fries. And the salt and the grease really kind of numbs me out. It's really heavy, so it brings me down into my body and quiets my brain. And that's a lot of what food does for us as well, particularly these kinds of comfort foods where we eat in order to manage our anxiety. And I was actually having this conversation with two different people this week around food, which is like, okay, I'm going to have this snack at nighttime, and this snack is a gift. I deserve this snack. Okay, I deserve to have this like full bag of popcorn at 10 o'clock at night, or I deserve to have this piece of cake at 10 o'clock at night. So it's like, where's the line between this is a gift and I deserve it, or this is actually like a little bit of of something that I'm going to use to just numb myself out, maybe help me sleep, maybe help me not think, maybe the other thing is like things that have us gain weight it becomes like this trick. We don't want to gain weight, but we eat the thing that has us gain weight because actually our body gets more like heavy and a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more weighed down. And that in and of itself can lessen the way in which we live in our mind. So I'm skipping around with these thoughts a little bit. So the thought of, is this a gift? Am I deserve the gift of this piece of cake? Deserve the gift of that piece of cake depending on what your ultimate goal is, right? If your ultimate goal is to lose weight or just lessen your sugar intake, or to lose water weight, or to exercise more and have more energy, maybe lessen your migraines. If that is your ultimate intention, then no, you don't deserve that cake and you shouldn't have that cake, right? But if your ultimate intention is to gift yourself with food and gift yourself with this sort of anesthetized feeling of this food. If that's your ultimate goal, then eat the cake and enjoy the cake. Enjoy every single morsel of that cake, no matter what time of day it is. Because a lot of times we eat food and we forget the promises we made to ourselves. Like, I want to lose weight. I want to exercise more. These are things that I really want. I'm going to exercise more tomorrow. I'm going to eat less tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and we forget that promise that we made to ourselves, and we forget the thing that we actually ultimately want. And we go to the second tier, or we go to the second commitment, which is, let me just keep myself comfortable and let me just end the day with this sort of like, gaze at the wall, gaze at the TV, and eat this comfort food thing. And the other question that I had was, when you eat your comfort food, are you noticing what you're feeling while you're eating it? Are you noticing the sensations after you're eating it? If we're really noticing the sensations, because for a lot of these things that we're really used to eating, that we were raised with eating, our body is actually adapted to eating that thing. So something that maybe you've been eating your whole life, your whole upbringing, isn't bothering you, but it might give me a stomach ache, and vice versa, because our body builds the appropriate amount of mucus to digest that thing that we've been eating our whole lives. And our body, our stomach stretches. Like if we're overeaters, our stomach will stretch pretty much really extremely stretchy. If we're overeaters, our stomach will stretch, and then it'll take more for us to get full because it will have stretched out. And then if you eat less, your stomach will shrink, and so it'll be quicker for you to get full. So our bodies really adapt to our habits. And it's like we tell it what our habits are. We're not paying attention to our body, and our body's telling you, this is what I want. This will be the healthiest thing for me. And we go, okay, we go, no, my body says I want vegetables, but I'm just gonna give it what I want to give it, which for me is French fries and soda. And so one of the reasons why I'm bringing up this food thing today is because I'm on a sugar cleanse, and I had this experience yesterday on the sugar cleanse. It lasted like 40 minutes, where I wanted sugar so bad. And it was like a drug withdrawal. Like I was like, I'm getting in the car and I'm going to get a Pepsi, and I could already taste the Pepsi. I could already feel like the carbonation. I could already feel I was envisioning and fantasizing the Pepsi and pouring it over ice, and I was wondering if I had a straw because I like it best with a straw over ice. And I was like, fantasizing about the burps, the like refreshing, releasing burps I'll get from drinking this Pepsi. And I wanted the Pepsi so bad, and for 40 minutes, there were these thoughts in my mind that were convincing me, like, just get the Pepsi. Like, it's just one Pepsi. And and then I was thinking cherry Coke, because I like Pepsi or I like cherry Coke. And I noticed there were all these feelings and sensations in my body, right? And then there were thoughts that were going with the feelings and sensations. And oftentimes, it's the thoughts that have us give into the thing. The thoughts are like, you're feeling so much, let's actually not feel. Let's satisfy the feeling by going to get the thing that's going to have you not feel, which is the food or the drug or the person, or that phone call, right? I have to call the person. I have to call this person because I can't deal with the fact that they might be thinking something that I don't want them to think, so I have to call this person. Instead of actually just sitting in the feeling and sensation. So I was noticing my thoughts about the Pepsi or the cherry Coke, and then I was noticing the feelings and sensations in my body, which was like my heart was racing a little bit. I had like heaviness in my chest. I was feeling a little bit dizzy and disoriented. I was feeling like not starving, but just this, like I needed something to like fill what felt like this void inside of me. Like I was starving for satisfaction, really. I was just starving to feel satisfied. And because I was making these feelings and sensations in my body mean that I wasn't satisfied. And so I noticed that's how I go through my day with my sugar, relationship with sugar, is like, let me just have the sugar to appease me, to appease me, to appease me. So, in any case, 40 minutes of this like sugar fantasy that was happening, and then it went away. I didn't give into it. I didn't have the Pepsi. It went away, and I was fine. So I'm just tossing it out there. How often do you just say, screw it, I'm going to eat this thing? Because I actually can't manage the desire for it. I can't just actually sit in the desire. Because not all desires have to be satisfied and fulfilled. We can actually just sit and be with the desire. But sometimes we don't know how to just be with the desire, the longing, thinking we need this thing, thinking we have to have an answer to this thing, thinking that we have to close the loop on something, whether it's eating something or having a particular conversation, or we just actually can't be with that feeling of dissatisfaction or longing. And oftentimes when it comes to food, the thing that satisfies that is the thing that satisfied our whole life. You know, whether it's Twinkies or it's ice cream or it's, sitting in front of the TV, eating mac and cheese. Mac and cheese was a big thing for me. Huge. Mac and cheese was like my comfort, where I just felt like a little kid again, sitting in front of the TV, like totally dummied up, eating my mac and cheese. So what foods are providing you a satisfaction that you actually really in reality don't need? And is it an illusion of satisfaction? Like, I'm not saying if you're actually hungry, don't eat. But what are you eating that is satiating you? And it's not actually a satiation that you need. It's just it's a satiation that you're using because you don't know any other way to manage how you're feeling. And also there's like this aloneness at nighttime that I've talked to a lot of people about. You end the day and then you're alone. Even if you have a partner, you still feel like, I need to wind down. I need something to bring me down. I need something to bring me back into my body. And so there's the nighttime drink or there's the nighttime snack. And then we don't even notice that over time it's causing us massive bloating and massive fatigue. That's a big thing with bloating and fatigue, which I think a lot of people deal with, is bloating, fatigue, and headaches. And a lot of the headaches come from eating way too much salt, which causes your heart to be overactive and minimize your arteries. I'm not a nutritionist, but I just read like a decent amount of this stuff. And so you have a migraine because you've eaten too much salty food. Your body is begging for water. And then there's bloating, and then there's fatigue, and all of this stuff has a lot to do with diet. And the diet has a lot to do with how are you managing your day and your feelings with food from the beginning all the way to the end. And what are the things that you think you have to eat that you don't have to eat? What are the things that you think are taking care of you? These foods, these comfort foods that are taking care of you, but they're actually not taking care of you. They're actually screwing up your overall experience of feeling healthy and vital. And how much of the food that you eat is giving you a replay, a re-experience of your childhood? And it's really just a nutritional programming. It's a food programming. It's a digestive programming from your childhood that you actually really could do without. And so, that's why I bring codependence into it, because codependence is a replay of childhood programming when it comes to relatedness. And a lot of our relationship to food is a replay of childhood programming when it comes to taste, the taste of food, the texture of food, the way the food makes us feel, the time of day in which we're eating it, the way in which we can completely set aside and push aside how we are feeling in order to feel something else with the food. Okay, I'm going to end there. You may notice in the description in this video that I added that I included the link to this video, which is really, really touching. I just found, I don't even know how long this video has been out for, but I just found out about this video about these two kids in Memphis who noticed a kid being bullied, and apparently the kid's been being bullied his whole life. One of the kids noticed himself laughing at the other kid being bullied, and then he went home and he was like, I don't want to be like that. Ugh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be an accomplice to somebody being bullied. So he then told one of his friends, and then he and his friend brought this kid clothes because the kid was being bullied because he's wearing the same outfit to school every day. So these kids said, I'm sorry for laughing at you, and here's some clothes. And it went viral, and the kids were on Ellen, and then they got even more clothes. And so it's really touching and moving to me because I've shared my story about being bullied, and just to watch kids in high school take it upon themselves. Nobody told them, hey, don't bully this kid, or at least that's not part of the story. They took it actually upon themselves to take care of this kid who was being bullied. Really, really beautiful, touching, simple, right? So simple. This kid is in trouble, and they helped him. Being bullied for having no clothes, they gave him clothes. So simple and so beautiful. And these kinds of things start in our formative years, in our adolescent years, and they're just an amazing example of anti-bullying. So I included that in the description below. Have a wonderful weekend, and share with me some things about your relationship to food or any thoughts and ideas that may have come up for you in this video. Happy healing, and you are awesome. Bye-bye. Just one more thought that I want to put out there about bullying. If you can take it upon yourself to say to one kid, hey, don't bully anybody, and if you ever see anybody being bullied, tell somebody. Just say that to one kid. If everybody takes it on to say that to at least one kid, then the message will get out there that bullying and witnessing bullying is unacceptable behavior, it's inappropriate behavior, it's mean, and it can be stopped. Because it's the bullies, and it's also the witnesses that are silenced and holding back and not saying anything that are perpetuating this epidemic. I took a bullying class, and it was really surprising to me. I think I might have said this in another video where I was talking about bullying, where only 25% of people who witness bullying in elementary schools, high schools, and the world at large, only 25% actually report it. 75% witness it and turn a blind eye. Don't say a word. We have to increase that 25%. So tell one child, at least one child, a year, hey, don't bully, and if you witness bullying, say something. That's it. Okay, that's my PSA on bullying. Bye, everybody.